hello from a slightly grey day here in Stratford. I've just joined the Gippsland Plains rail trail. I've started in Stratford. The good thing about this one is that there's train access on both ends, so I decided to head towards Traralgon this time. I'm right next to the freeway, so a lot of noise, a bit hard to film, so I won't do much more here, but I'll add some more video along the way. Okay, it's a little bit quieter here, about 2.5 kilometres out of town now, out from the train station, just past the point where the old railway line branches off from the still existing one, the one that I came here on today. Coming ahead of me is a few towns, Farah and Hayfield and a few others, so I'll keep going and see what they're like. So 10 kilometres out from Stratford, I'm at the first town along the rail trail. This is Farah. Looks like a really nice little town actually. Had lots of food available for hungry riders and lots of bicycle parking there with hoops that you can lock onto, so really good spot to take a rest. I decided to keep going to the next town because I'm only 10 k's in, not ready for a break yet. But yeah, it was a nice little town. I'll put some photos in there. Still a nice bit of railway history remaining behind me. There's an old trestle bridge here, still from the old line. I'm back on the main trail now after Farah. That disappears for a while as you're going through the town and you have to go down the main street, which is good because you go past all the bakeries and cafes and such. Also nice to see there's some new signage behind me too. The old sign that I use in my photo that I've got in the opening sequence, that's from a picture I took a long time ago, so good to see that they're still updating and keeping the trail maintained and kept up to date. Okay, I've made it to the next main town along the trail. This is Hayfield. It's about 28 kilometres from Stratford. It feels like quite a bit more than that actually because it's been raining last night. I think the gravel is quite damp and it's been very slow going. I feel like I've ridden much more than 28 kilometres. There's a sign just in front of me saying yummy and delicious food, so better go and check that out. Yeah. One of the many restored seats along the trail. It's got a little plaque on it, says it's been restored in 2015 by the Men's Shed in Sale, so I guess it must have been an original station seat or something. Quite a lot of them look the same. They probably had them on all the stations and now they're still in the station areas, but just for riders to have a rest on, or trail users. Well, this is where we lose the trail for about 5.5 kilometres. It doesn't connect through at this point. There's a map here telling us how to take a detour around the roads. They're fairly quiet roads too, so not too difficult. Actually be a bit of a relief to ride on some solid ground after all this sort of damp gravel that I've been riding on. But yeah, I'll reconnect through when I get to the other end. and that joins us back up to the rail trail again. We've got the same signs what was on the other end, the same map. 1.5 more kilometres to go now and get into Kohler, so can't really remember what's there, so let's go and find out. Well, I've made it into the town of Kohler. From the trail there's really not much there. You see a few houses in the background there. See when they packed up the railways, looks like they left a freight carriage behind, or maybe it's been put there on purpose for a display. Otherwise, not much, just continuing on the trail. We've got another one of the little signs and information huts there. So, it's nice of them to put that stuff there. Alright, I'm going to keep going. This is what remains of the old Toongabbie train station. It's the second last town on the trail on the way back to Traralgon. Don't really see much when you're coming in on the trail. Don't really have time to stop either, so just going to have to keep going and trust that it's a nice town. This is something that's always nice to see on a rail trail. A complete old station still there. Saw lots of photographs of old stations along the way. Here's one where we can actually look at what they really looked like. You can just imagine a train sitting here once. So that was the Gippsland Plains rail trail. Just a quick summary of how I found it. As far as difficulty goes, I did actually find it quite difficult, but that was mostly because the ground is quite damp. I don't know what it's like on a dry day, but it wasn't wet. I wasn't leaving tyre tracks behind me, but it was still a really hard push to get through. Really, as soon as I stopped pedaling, I stopped moving. I couldn't even coast down hills. On a dry day, maybe it's a lot better. Not too many hills. As far as the actual trail goes though, it's very well set up, lots of amenities, lots of railway history, everything's there for it really. And as far as the scenery goes, well, it was mostly farmland, but it's still nice. Yeah, I think it was a good day out. I'm glad I came. Hope you enjoy it one day too.